Hello, everybody in advanced math. So very, very sorry that I'm gone today. You are going to definitely need a calculator. So if you don't have a calculator, pause the video and go get one right now. We're going to be doing lots of logs today. Yesterday, your homework was all about solving equations that had logarithms in it. And now the homework will be solving exponential equations using logarithms. So imagine that since exponential equations and logarithms are like the opposites of each other, that before we had multiplying equations that we were solving with division, and now we have division equations that we're solving with multiplying. They're just basically opposites of each other. Both of these are pretty easy. And before I get to tell you, there is going to be a quiz in class tomorrow on logarithms. After I go over all of the homework with you and make sure that you're comfortable with all of it, we can even do a few review questions if you want, like a warm-up or even like a quick review game, just to make sure you understand. And it'll be a short quiz on logarithms, and then we're going to move on to trig next week because I don't want to do a big test on this stuff. So let's talk about how to solve this. You should have this worksheet from Ms. Renardi. And if you don't, then stop the video and go get it now. Your homework is finishing these 24 problems. And I am going to, not 24, 12 total, because I started skipping them and whited out a whole bunch of them so that you had room to work. And I don't think you need to do all of them anyway. So just 12 problems, and I'm probably going to do, I don't know, 4 of them with you. So it should be a pretty easy day. All right, let's look at this one. You always use a logarithm when you're solving an exponential equation, but specifically when the variable is in the exponent. So here you can see that a b is in the exponent on this problem. I'll zoom in. So there's a b up there. Now, 3 to the what power is 17 is basically what it's asking, which is what a logarithm is, right? We're trying to figure out that power. You could start guessing checking because 3 squared is 9 and 3 to the third power is 27. So we know that it's going to be somewhere between 2 and 3, but we don't really know what that is unless you started just guessing checking and trying to figure it out. So here's how I do these problems. I'm going to put a log base 3 on both sides. The log base 3, I chose a base 3 because this one's a base 3. Notice I didn't choose 17. I choose the one that has the base and the power. The base 3 here and this log base 3 cancel out. So now I've got b equals log base 3 of 17. Now you can do this in your calculator. You can do it 2 different ways. You can either use the change of base rule, because remember your calculator is in base 10, which means that you could say I'm going to take the log of 17 divided by the log of 3, which in this case is about 2.58. Another way to do it, which Ryan will prefer, and Ryan is also sitting right in front of me, so I'm making fun of him because he's finishing a test. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
Yeah, he's here. Is to go into the math function here, down to log base, because Ryan likes technology. So do a lot of us. And then down here you would put base 3, and then a 17 next to it. The reason why I'm so used to using the change of base rule is because only this year have I gotten TI-84s for the whole classroom. Before that, I had TI-83s in some of my classroom, and they didn't have that function, so I was used to that rule. Anyway, 2.58. In fact, let's try it. Let's plug it back in. You can put 3 to the power of 2.58, which is 17. Now, it's not quite 17, and the reason for that is because it really wasn't quite 2.58. I rounded there. If I put this whole string of numbers here, it'd be closer to 17, but it still wouldn't be. By the way, that's called a limit, which some people will be learning in calculus later. Okay. So these should all be doable now. Let's jump down to number 12. All right, so number 12, you're solving this just like a regular equation. We want to get into this exponent. We want to get to where the n is. And remember that at any point, you can pause this video and work on your own and come back to me. You don't have to stay with me at this exact same pace that I'm talking. So to get rid of a minus 5, you add 5 on both sides. This would be 11 to the n minus 8 equals 59. And now I'm going to try to get into that exponent, so I need to take care of this base 11. And to get rid of that base 11, I'm going to do a log 11, log base 11. Those cancel out. I end up with n minus 8 equals log base 11 of 59. That means 11 to the what power is 59. I like the change of base rule, so I'm just going to do log of 59 divided by log of 11, but you could use that other thing in your calculator if you want to. So we end up with 1.7. So n minus 8 equals 1.7. And I'm going to add 8. Remember that you can always check your work by plugging it back in. And you would have found that a couple of the ones on the last worksheet actually didn't work when you plugged them back in, because anytime you're putting something to a power, which logarithms are all about powers, that means that sometimes you end up with extraneous solutions. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is I want to do one of these. You see that this base is E. E is actually a number. It is not like a variable. So if you're wondering what is E, E is a number 2.18. I don't know what it is. Let's see. E is right here. It's the blue one above the division sign. If I remember right, 2.718. So E is 2.71828. It's another irrational number, just like pi. It's not something you can solve for. That is exactly what it is. I believe that it is defined as in finance if you are, you know how like if you compound something, if you compound it monthly, that means that you roll over that interest into your account and they get interest on interest as you go instead of getting it all at the end of the year. And if you start compounding faster and faster, eventually daily, and then even by the second, this is the fastest that your money can grow. It can't just keep going up infinitely. So E. The opposite of E is something called a natural log. Although it is ln on your calculator, it's right here. Some people prefer using that instead of regular logs. Ln automatic, so log automatically has a base 10 unless you change it, and natural log automatically has a base E and is used in finance a lot and in that kind of thing. So if you go to school for accounting, you're going to end up using that. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to add 9. I get 3.4 e to the 2 minus 2n equals, what, 5? Then I'm going to divide by 3.4 before I can touch that e. So that's e to the 2 minus 2n equals 1.47. And then to get rid of a base e, I'm going to do a natural log on both sides. I don't even have to put a base e down because it's automatically implied. So now this is 2 minus 2n equals the natural log of 1.47. You do not have to do any change of base rule. You just use the natural log button, which is right here. By the way, why is it not NL? Because this was created in a different country where they use their adjective before their noun, so it is, or afterwards. I think the adjective comes afterwards, so it's log naturel instead. 0.39-ish. Minus 2. Now I've got negative 2n equals negative 1.61. Divide by negative 2. And I get 0.805 as my answer, 0.81 about. Okay. I am going to try one more with you, which is number 25. Only I highly suggest that on number 25 that you pause the video and don't watch me do it at all. Try it on your own and then check your work with me afterwards. So I'm going to start, so should you. Pause the video. Pause it. Ryan, actually pause it. You're gonna be the one, aren't you, who refuses to pause it? You're just gonna let it run as you ignore me still and do the math. Am I right?
I want to do the math right now, just not.
Okay.